The 80s gave us more than just big hair and synth pop. It was also the era of some seriously unforgettable movies. These films are more than just relics of a bygone decade. They're timeless gems that somehow never get old, no matter how many times you watch them. My Bodyguard is the story we all secretly wished for in high school, finding the toughest kid around to take on the bullies and save the day. A young Chris Makepeace befriends the brooding Adam Baldwin, and suddenly, being the smallest kid in school doesn't seem so bad. With Matt Dillon playing the kind of bully who you just know peaked in high school, this film became a quintessential coming-of-age tale.
What's going on? Who are those guys?
Just some kids from school who want to kill me.
Hey, Shelley, want to go to the movies tonight?
Sure.
Yeah, you have a real good time while you're there, huh?
And this is me now.
Manhunter introduced audiences to Hannibal Lecter before he became a household name. But it's really all about the cat and mouse game between FBI profiler Will Graham and the Tooth Fairy killer. Directed by Michael Mann, this film gave us sleek visuals and a killer 80s synth soundtrack that still makes us feel like we're on the hunt today. Plus, it's the first time we saw Hannibal Lecter on screen, played by Brian Cox, before Anthony Hopkins made the role iconic.
Intruder entered through kitchen sliding door.
Nationwide victims.
Yeah, this is Will Graham of the FBI.
One killer.
This is what the subject's teeth look like.
Withnail and I takes us on a booze-soaked trip to the English countryside with two out-of-work actors who somehow make misery look like an art form. This cult classic gave us some of the most quotable lines in British cinema, and Richard E. Grant's portrayal of Withnail was even more impressive when you realize he was a teetotaler playing a raging alcoholic. Over 3 decades later, people are still visiting that iconic Penrith tea room, trying to channel their inner Withnail while quoting, "We've gone on holiday by mistake."
We've gone on holiday by mistake.
Enjoy the rustic pleasure of country living.
It's gonna be so cold in here. Like Greenland in here. Wants to get down there and have sex with those cows.
Local Hero is the movie that made us all want to pack up, move to a tiny Scottish village, and stare at the northern lights for the rest of our lives. And fun fact, the red phone box featured in the movie became a real-life tourist attraction, proving that sometimes all it takes to fall in love with a place is a bit of movie magic.
Survey teams have found just about the only suitable bay on the entire coast.
I think we should get a negotiator on the side right away.
We're here on kind of a mission.
Same here.
I don't want to be coy with you, Gordon. We want to buy the whole place. We want to buy everything from the cliffs to the north, through to the bay on the far side. That's all.
Altered States asked the big question, what if the search for the meaning of life involved turning into a prehistoric man after a bad trip in a sensory deprivation tank? This mind-bender, based on a novel, introduced audiences to the wild idea that experimenting with your consciousness might just send you on the weirdest journey ever. William Hurt's film debut saw him literally de-evolving on screen, in a film that's as much a psychedelic experience as it is a cautionary tale about doing too many drugs in the name of science.
Deafening! The noise is deafening!
It's blacked out.
What happens during these blackout periods is you get the feeling of phenomenal acceleration, like you're being shot out over millions, billions of years. Time simply obliterates.
Now, I'm asking you to put the experiment off until we understand a little more in order to minimize the risk.
Wait.
I'm really frightened.
What the hell was that?
The Long Good Friday brought the gritty world of London gangsters to life like never before, with Bob Hoskins delivering a performance so intense that you'd swear he was the real kingpin of London's underworld. And let's not forget Helen Mirren, who proved that she could be just as ruthless and calculated as the men around her.
For more than 10 years, there's been peace. Everyone to his own patch. I'm setting up the biggest deal in Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, the new London.
Near Dark took the vampire genre and threw it into the American Midwest. blending horror with a neo-Western vibe that feels as fresh today as it did in the 80s. Directed by Catherine Bigelow before she became an Oscar winner, this film is a gritty, blood-soaked ride with a group of nomadic vampires who feel more like outlaws than creatures of the night. If you're tired of romantic vampires, Near Dark will sink its teeth into you.
Stars.
See that one?
First one I laid my eyes on.
And the light that's leaving that star right now will take 1 billion years to get down here. You wanna know why you've never met a girl like me before?
Yeah, why?
Because I'll still be here when the light from that star gets down here to Earth.
The Quiet Earth drops us into a post-apocalyptic world where one man wakes up to find that he might be the last person left on Earth. Or so he thinks. This New Zealand sci-fi gem is a masterclass in eerie solitude and existential dread, all on a shoestring budget of $1.8 million. The film's haunting final image has been the subject of debate among fans for years, making it one of those movies that sticks with you long after the credits roll.
See you 1 o'clock in the plaza.
Okay, then we head south.
We'll go back.
We'll discuss that at lunch.
Housekeeping gave us a quirky, melancholic look at what happens when the eccentric aunt you always wondered about shows up to raise you. Based on Marilynne Robinson's novel, it's one of those rare films that captures the quiet beauty of loneliness and the wilderness of the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, hello.
I met a really nice lady at the station. She was traveling to see her cousin hanged.
And conformity doesn't appeal to her at all.
Irene, good night.
The unbearable lightness of being took Milan Kundera's philosophical novel and somehow made it even steamier. Set in 1968 Czechoslovakia, it's a rare mix of history, romance, and existential dread. Daniel Day-Lewis, Juliette Binoche, and Lena Olin make the kind of beautiful mess that only a film that's equal parts art and history lesson can pull off.
Are you only searching for pleasure? Or is every woman in New Land whose secrets you want to discover? You want to know what she's going to say when she makes love?
If I had 2 lives, in one life I could invite her to stay at my place, and in the second life I could kick her out. But we only live once.